In WWE's writing of wrestling history, nobody has won more world championships than 17-time champ John Cena. With his retirement match set for Saturday night's main event on December 13th, let's look back at every win that propelled him to GOAT status. Though his career got off to a bumpy start, once Cena found his footing, he was almost instantly earmarked as a WrestleMania main eventer. He came into WrestleMania 21 in 2005 after a controversial second-place finish in the Royal Rumble. Cena has claimed the blame for that, by the way.
That's all anyone's ever going to take away from this podcast. Cena's botched Royal Rumble spot.
Cena was 3 years into his main roster run and already had a memorable US title reign under his belt. He defeated Kurt Angle at No Way Out to earn a shot at JBL's WWE Championship at Mania. Cena won, ushering in a new era for WWE. A 280-day reign followed, with Cena getting to show his range against a variety of opponents. His I Quit match against JBL at Judgment Day was barbaric. He forced Chris Jericho out of the company. He also fended off the likes of Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, and Christian after being drafted to Raw. This reign only came to an end when Edge cashed in the first ever Money in the Bank contract at New Year's Resolution 2006, right after Cena had just gone through a grueling Elimination Chamber match. Edge's cash-in win was exciting, but WWE clearly didn't have too much of a plan from there. Edge wound up dropping the WWE Championship back to Cena just 3 weeks after winning it. Their match at the 2006 Royal Rumble was the first pre-announced match of their rivalry, which went on for years thereafter. Cena's second title run had some memorable moments, including his first ever Mania main event against Triple H at WrestleMania 22. In what would become the trend for much of Cena's career, the crowd was divided pretty evenly between pro-Cena and anti-Cena fans. That would be followed by an underrated triple threat match against Edge and Triple H at Backlash. Cena's second reign ended much like the first, with a Money in the Bank cash-in. This time it was Rob Van Dam who called his shot, challenging Cena at the main event of the ECW One Night Stand pay-per-view in June 2006. RVD won his one and only WWE Championship in front of a crowd that was famously hostile towards Cena. At Unforgiven in September 2006, Cena finally put his initial feud with Edge to bed. He won their tables, ladders, and chairs match to snag the WWE Championship for the third time. That reign proved to be Cena's longest, and also came with some controversy. Across this 380-day reign, Cena was routinely booed by the fans who weren't happy with him being positioned as the top guy. But his in-ring work remained impressive. One of Cena's best matches, his last man standing match with Umaga at the 2007 Royal Rumble, was then followed by a WrestleMania feud with Shawn Michaels that was just as good. Cena did face a gargantuan task of making the Great Khali look good over the summer, but things picked up when a feud with Randy Orton started brewing that fall. Unfortunately, it didn't get a satisfying finish because Cena had to vacate the title with an injury, a torn pectoral muscle. Cena's return to action in the 2008 Royal Rumble match was one of the most memorable in WWE history, given that it was months ahead of schedule.
I was like a physical therapy terminator. Show up for the morning session, go get some food. Show up for the noon session, go get some food. Show up for the afternoon session.
He won the Rumble but didn't get a title back right away. His triple threat match at WrestleMania 24 against Randy Orton and Triple H resulted in Orton retaining by stealing a pin. Trips then won the title in a four-way that included Cena at Backlash. A month later, Triple H got drafted to SmackDown, taking the WWE Championship with him. That left Cena on Raw, chasing Chris Jericho's World Heavyweight Championship. Cena dethroned Jericho at Survivor Series 2008 in his home state of Massachusetts. Victories over Jericho and JBL led him to defending the title inside the Elimination Chamber at No Way Out in February 2009. He was shockingly eliminated by Edge, bringing his first run with the big gold belt to an end at 84 days. Edge was also the one who walked out of that Elimination Chamber match with the World Heavyweight title, and Cena was hot on his tail. Just over a month later, Cena defeated the Rated R Superstar at WrestleMania 25 in a triple threat match that also included The Big Show. But Edge was ready for him this time. Just 3 weeks after Mania, he beat Cena in a last man standing match at Backlash. so Cena's fifth reign clocked in at just 21 days, and Edge cemented himself as one of Cena's biggest rivals. Edge and Cena had a very memorable rivalry, but Big Match John's true nemesis came slithering back into the picture for a feud in 2009. The WWE Championship returned to Raw in that year's draft, around the waist of Triple H. It was Orton who snagged the title from Trips at that year's Backlash. But Cena stepped up to fight him for much of the rest of the year. Orton and Cena faced off at SummerSlam, with the Viper emerging the winner. But in an I Quit match at Breaking Point in September, Cena got Orton to utter those two dreaded words, becoming a six-time world champion. Cena and Orton met in October 2009 at Hell in a Cell inside the demonic structure. Orton won his belt back, but it was clear that another match was needed to finally decide who was the better man. So the two faced off again at Bragging Rights later that same month, in a 60-minute Iron Man match. As the clock wound down, Cena got the all-important deciding fall, winning the match 6-5 with just seconds to spare. The wars took their toll on Orton, who went on to different feuds. Cena defended against the likes of Chris Jericho, Triple H, and Shawn Michaels, but he was beaten at TLC in December after 49 days as champ by then-rookie Sheamus. 2 months later, Cena got the chance to reclaim the WWE Championship inside the Elimination Chamber. Fans generally expected that he'd walk into WrestleMania 26 as champion. Cena actually did take the title from Sheamus inside the chamber, pinning Triple H to get the win. But then he got hit with a swerve. After the match, then WWE Chairman Vince McMahon revealed that if he wanted to take the title to Mania, he'd also have to beat Batista, who he granted a title match for attacking Bret Hart. The Animal made quick work of an exhausted Cena, ending his 8th reign as world champ after about 3 minutes. Cena wanted justice. As Batista became increasingly unhinged, Cena got a rematch against the Animal for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 26, which he won. Standing at 9 World Championship reigns, Cena spent the spring feuding with Batista. They had matches with stipulations that have become specialties for Cena, such as Last Man Standing and I Quit at Extreme Rules and Over the Limit. In storyline, Batista became so injured over the course of losing those bouts with Cena that he quit the company. Cena finally lost the title at Fatal 4-Way in June 2010, with Sheamus regaining the title in a match that also featured Randy Orton and Edge, but it was really an attack from the Nexus that lost it for him. At Extreme Rules 2011, Cena made history by becoming one of only a handful of WWE stars to reach double-digit title reigns.
Like I'm the only guy who's different. Maybe I am.
He got there by defeating both The Miz and John Morrison in a 3-way steel cage match. It was a big night for Cena for another reason too, because that was when he announced to the live audience that Osama bin Laden had, quote, been compromised to a permanent end. Cena's 10th reign as world champ proved to be one of the most memorable of his career, because it ended with his iconic bout with CM Punk at the 2011 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Punk famously left the match through the crowd, claiming to be leaving the company with the title. The match and the storyline around it is thought to have gotten a whole lot of fans into or back into wrestling. As a result of the loss, Vince McMahon promised that Cena would be fired, which, of course, didn't happen. Punk took his title and went home, so WWE had to crown a new champion. They did so through a tournament on Raw, which Rey Mysterio won. But in what might be the biggest example of the LOL Cena wins phenomenon, Cena got a title match against Mysterio on the very same night and won his 11th World Championship. That July 2011 episode of Raw proved very eventful. Punk returned with his title, setting up an undisputed WWE Championship match at SummerSlam, which Punk won. That ended Cena's reign as a sort of interim champion at 20 days. Punk's reign, meanwhile, ended just moments later. Alberto Del Rio cashed in his Money in the Bank contract and took the title. So Punk and Cena walked into SummerSlam with 2 belts between them and left with none. Cena got his shot at dethroning Del Rio at Night of Champions in September 2011, and after a hard-fought contest, Cena once again reigned supreme. Cena's 12th World Championship reign was largely uneventful though. It lasted a grand total of 2 weeks. He once again crossed paths with Del Rio and Punk in a triple threat match at Hell in a Cell on October 2nd, and Del Rio won his title back in a chaotic finish, leading to one of Cena's longest title droughts. He wouldn't be world champion again for another 18 months. Punk finally got his WWE Championship back from Del Rio at Survivor Series 2011 and went on to hold on to the title for 434 days. A pretty major accomplishment during a period where titles were often hot potatoed. A big factor in Punk's long reign was likely that Cena was busy gearing up for his once-in-a-lifetime feud with The Rock, who was returning for his first proper singles match in 9 years.
It was so real. Like, we had real problems with each other.
Cena lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 28, kicking off what was, at least for Cena, a career downturn. He still won a lot, but he became the first ever Money in the Bank winner to fail at cashing in, by disqualification. Cena managed to get into the main event of WrestleMania 29 by winning the 2013 Royal Rumble. The Rock dethroned Punk for the title at the same show, thus setting up that once-in-a-lifetime match for a second time. Cena got his win back, claiming his 13th world title. He wound up holding the title until SummerSlam, where he was beaten by Daniel Bryan in one of the best SummerSlam main events ever. Cena's SummerSlam loss to Bryan coincided with an injury. He took 6 months off for surgery to repair a torn triceps. But this is John Cena we're talking about, so he was back in 2, facing Alberto Del Rio for the World Heavyweight Championship at Hell in a Cell 2013. Despite being fresh out of surgery, Cena defeated Del Rio to become a 14-time world champion, getting his hands on the big gold belt for the first time in over 4 years. Cena wound up being the last man to have a reign with that version of the World Heavyweight Championship. The title was unified with Randy Orton's WWE Championship at TLC in December 2013, with Orton getting the better of Cena in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Cena spent early 2014 feuding with the Wyatt family, but by June, he set his sights back on the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Bryan had won the 2-belt title from Orton at WrestleMania 30, but had to vacate it due to injury. To crown a new champ, WWE set up a multi-man ladder match at Money in the Bank, not for a briefcase, though there was one of those too. This one was for the title itself. Of the 8 men involved, Cena came away with the victory, securing world title win number 15. He held the 2 belts for 7 weeks before being mauled by Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. The one-sided match saw Cena take an unbelievable 16 German suplexes and 2 F5s. After the SummerSlam loss to Lesnar, Cena's role changed. Maybe WWE was hesitant to have him tie Ric Flair's agreed-upon world title record of 16, though there's some dispute about it possibly having been more. Or perhaps Cena was just ready to move on to other things. His first big movie that wasn't a WWE production, Trainwreck, came out in 2015.
Okay, Coco Beware, you know what? You're being an ass, all right? You know what I do with ass? I lick them.
Either way, Cena's wrestling schedule lightened up. He got 2 more runs with the US Championship as a means of elevating mid-card and debuting wrestlers. But there was always that lingering question. Would he get world title run number 16? It finally came after Cena was drafted to SmackDown in 2016. AJ Styles had beaten him twice over that summer. After Styles won the WWE Championship in December, Cena came looking for some payback. Cena and Styles faced off at the 2017 Royal Rumble, and Cena came with his worker jorts on, matching moves with Styles, widely regarded as one of the best in-ring performers of his generation. Ultimately, Cena came out on top and tied Flair's record. 2 weeks later, Cena dropped the title to Bray Wyatt inside the Elimination Chamber. After tying Flair's title record, Cena slipped into semi-retirement for several years. He focused a lot more on his acting and only came back for short runs here and there, particularly at WrestleMania time. Then at Money in the Bank 2024, he announced that 2025 would be his final year as an in-ring performer. Naturally, the story immediately became Cena trying to reach that fabled number 17 and become the most decorated world champion in wrestling history. Cena has ended up working a much fuller schedule in 2025 than he had in the years prior. He was thought to be a shoo-in to win the Royal Rumble, but he ended up coming in second to Jey Uso. Cena found his way to WrestleMania 41 by winning the Elimination Chamber match the following month. After the match, he turned heel and aligned himself with The Rock against Cody Rhodes. With the help of Travis Scott, Cena snagged his 17th world title by defeating Rhodes at Mania for the undisputed WWE Championship.
Tune into Monday Night Raw to see how I ruin wrestling.
While the turn itself was exciting, Cena's heel run proved to be kind of a flop. It was over by early August, and he dropped the title back to Rhodes at SummerSlam. It's likely his 105-day heel world championship reign will be his last. But of course, you can never really say never in wrestling. It's more of a surprise when retirements actually stick than when they don't. Just ask Ric Flair.